What's up, everyone? Draftapalooza is back, and we are live streaming best ball drafts all summer long. Right here on the best ball Draftapalooza. Special guest today, the ornery one himself, Razzle. What's up, my man?
I don't know if I'm ornery, but maybe. I don't know that I'm special either, but I'll take the words.
No, you're special. You're very special and ornery. You are those things. We'll look up what that word means after the show, because I'm not sure what it means either. I just said it. Sometimes you just say things, Raz. You don't know what they mean. But we are live. We're drafting best ball teams. We're going to be drafting DraftKings Millie Maker teams today. And we're going to go for a shot at this $15 million prize. So first off, I want to thank DraftKings for sponsoring this video. We have partnered with DraftKings for best ball Draftapalooza all August long. So we're going to be having all kinds of promos and stuff like that based around that partnership. And we're going to be drafting best ball teams on DraftKings Razzle. Now, before we get into it, a couple little news nuggets coming out. There's been just little bits and pieces of information coming out. Last night, preseason, Anthony Richardson bends the pinky back and reminds us that Anthony Richardson is a fragile quarterback, which we already knew. It's nothing new. We already knew it, but he looked fragile. It's a reminder that you cannot trust him, but when he's out there, he does his thing. So not really affecting his ADP, I don't think, a whole lot. Other things, Janty, not an exciting performance last night. 3 carries, negative yards. There's a little bit of concern there for some people, but really it's no big deal in my mind. 3 carries, who cares? So Janty getting a little bit of possibly being pushed. I wouldn't be shocked if in this draft right now, Razzle, that Janty's pushed down to round 2. He is a little bit, there's people overreact. What's up, Soups? My man. So people overreact a little bit to preseason things. Speaking of preseason, by the way, I just want to point out Uppers Lad crushing it for DFS Army in the preseason coverage on the preseason sheets. I'm just going to show you one thing last night. Last night we had the sheets, really nailed it with the QBs and whatnot, but Keaton Mitchell did well. George Holani scored. All the cores really smashed it last night, but especially this one was the thing that really blew my mind last night. You go to the sheet. My guy, Uppers Lad, puts Hudson as core. Yep, Soups was, yeah. I mean, dude, this is why we do what we do, right? Tanner Hudson, core play. Who's picking a core play from a tight end, big time? And what does Tanner Hudson do? He puts up a 23.5. You get a core play on the cheat sheet. Everybody loaded up. Everybody smashed last night. I cashed my lineups. It was easy. It's easy when you have people diving deep into the notes. So congrats to everybody who played last night. And of course, if you are not signed up yet and you've been waiting to get into DFS Army, I'm going to wait for football season. I don't want to waste the money just yet. Well, all right. What are you wasting? You're wasting making money in the preseason. But I will tell you this, Raz. I don't know if you know this. You might not know this. But our NFL full season package, which goes for 12 months. So it's not tied to a season. It's a 12-month package. You can get $50 off right now with promo code NFL25. Or if you're into everything, you want to get Raz's MLB coverage. You want college football breakdowns, NASCAR, MMA, everything we do, DFS Army VIP right now for the month of August is 50% off using promo code NFL 2025. It's the best deal we have going. I know a lot of people who are watching this, you wait for that big deal that we do right, in August every year. And that's what we do. Want you to sign up in August, get in there for the whole season. Well, it's happening now. We got 50% off your DFS Army full VIP monthly subscription, promo code NFL 2025. So with that being said, let's get back into it. And I want to talk about DraftKings best ball real quick. We are going to, so football season's right around the corner, and there's no better way to lock in your fantasy dominance early than with best ball on DraftKings, where you draft once and ride your roster all season long. Right now, DraftKings is giving all customers a can't miss offer. Draft one, get one. Enter a lineup in the $15 million best ball contest for just $20, and you'll score another best ball ticket to play for free for a free share for a free share of the 15 million. So buy one, get one. Guys, you get a ticket, you buy one, you do one entry, you get two. Worth it. It's easy. Just draft your team once, no weekly management required, and let your top scorers automatically start each week across the whole season. Every breakout start, every clutch play, every touchdown will count towards your quest for a share of $15 million. Download the DraftKings Fantasy app now to draft your $20 best ball lineup to play for a share of $15 million and get a second ticket free. The crown is yours. All right. There we go. Let's get into it, guys. We are about to make some shmoney drafting best ball teams. Raz, the ADPs are changing, and a reminder here that on DraftKings, the key, let's go right here, best ball milli maker, right? We're about to get ready. By the way, if you guys want to draft against me in this particular league, best way to do it, we have a link in the description of this video that will take you directly to this draft. So link is in the description. It'll take you to the best ball milli maker, this draft, if we hit it simultaneous. So go load it up right now. We're going to click the button simultaneous. Raz, you drafting or are you just advising on this one?
I mean, I can draft. I wasn't sure about us getting in the same exact draft, being live together. Those borderline things for me where I don't want to get into trouble for any reason there.
Yeah, that's cool. So you don't have to draft. Get in there. You'll advise me on this one. I want to know the Razzle theory and approach to best ball this season. Who are your guys? We're going to get into all of that. Who are your guys this year? Who are you high on?
Amen.
Is it different than me? Have I been donkey drafting this whole time? Do you have corrections? Maybe.
I doubt that it's different than you. I'm sticking to the normal things. I'm still high on Detroit, even though I'm worried about, a coordinator change. I don't really know, but it's hard to not like a team like Detroit, Philadelphia. I think I'm probably obviously the highest on Cincinnati, but I think everybody is. And then we just saw it last night. I mean, Burrow, two drives is all he had and 2 touchdowns. Chase tore it up in those 2 drives. It's just hard to get away from those offenses that we've relied on the last couple of years.
I think for the most part, the good offenses continue to be good. There really haven't been any downgrades. I think there are a lot of upgrades, and I think what we're looking for a little bit, those are obvious things. What I'm always looking for is who's the next team? What's the next sexy offense that we're not expecting? A couple of years ago, it was when Baker Mayfield went to Tampa, and all of a sudden that team went from kind of a boring, nothing burger to one of the more exciting, fantasy producing, offensive scoring teams in the league. So who's it going to be this year? I got so many different possibilities this year with, the Jaguars are on that list for me. Who's next? There are some teams that I think are getting slightly better offensively. I talk about the Raiders a lot and Miami. Yeah. Tattoo says Denver. Denver, I think defensively really good. So there are teams, we want to try to find those teams that are like the next thing. We all know Detroit's going to be awesome and Philadelphia is going to score a lot. And we know that Josh Allen is really, really good at being a quarterback and putting up fantasy points. So we gotta find that next thing, Raz. We'll work on it here. All right, 30-second pick, best ball milli maker. I'm just trying to think if there's any other news nuggets that are worthy of sharing beyond, like I said, Ashton Janty not looking that great in the preseason. 3 carries, who cares? But really nothing else of significance other than also Daniel Jones not looking that great replacing Anthony Richardson. So be careful. I'm starting to think that the Colts will be one of the worst. I already thought they were going to be one of the worst teams. They might be competing with New Orleans for the worst team this year. And I want to avoid players from bad teams in general. I don't like bad players or bad teams. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. We are entering the $15 million Millie Maker. Yeah. Ivan's got Riley Leonard. You could be right. You could be right. It's not bad there. So let's do a quick reminder about some strategy for this contest. This is an 800,000 entry monster size contest, Raz. Every possible combination is pretty much going to be covered here. And it's wildly difficult to win. But obviously, the prize up top is reflective, $2 million. That, you know, think about the bragging rights. And I don't even think about the life-changing money. Like, it's not even just the bragging rights at this point. It's like the quit your job and never work again level of winning this contest. This is truly unlike any fantasy football contest in existence. So, you know, let's take our shots and dream about the glory that could happen. But in order to win this contest, you have to beat 800,000 other lineups. So you have to find unique things that you're doing that the field isn't doing. You got to catch, you know, the Mike Evans / Jonathan Taylor, you know, playoff boom, of course. But that's just the beginning. You've got to find the Chase Brown of this year that emerges late and has an incredible run late in the season, that kind of thing. So I don't think it makes sense to be chalky with this approach. And I know a lot of people are going to do extreme stacking, and I would kind of agree with that as well. Extreme stacking, figure it out, and let's see where we're drafting from here. So let's see actually who's in here with us. I don't see anyone from the chat, so it looks like we're rolling solo here, Raz. And
totally fine.
I am picking with, looks like pick number 9. So probably leaves us in a spot where there'll be some really good running backs available. DraftKings is a full PPR format, and it definitely favors going heavy wide receiver early. And I think a lot of people are going to do that. Just load up on wide receivers early. And that tends to be how it goes a little bit. They load up on the wide receivers early and then try to catch the late breaking stud running backs. A big part of the reason. Oh, so Soups, you get in the next one? Yeah. A big part of the reason that wide receivers go early is because it's very rare in the NFL that a later round wide receiver actually emerges as something huge. Like every year we have the Bucky Irvings. They pop up and they start smashing. This is just what it happens every year, right? Running backs emerge. It could be, you know, I have a whole thing about a number of names. We can talk a little bit about them, who I think are those possibilities for late round running back flyers. But it's much less common with a wide receiver that somebody who's obscure just emerges and is awesome and carries your team. Raz, can you think of that? Like, I can't think of too many of these late round wide receivers that have, like, beyond round 10 that you drafted that would have been emerging and being a special play that help you win like a best ball tournament the last couple of years. Can you think of any? I'm having a hard time thinking of anything.
I can't really. I mean, my on-brand play would have been like the last couple of years with Rashid Shaheed, just because he helps you get there because he has those big weeks. Like, I mean, he's not going to be some consistent guy, but I mean, maybe like Jalen McMillan last year.
I don't know that Jalen was helping you win.
I mean, he do it his best work towards the end of the season, though.
Yeah, had a couple good games. Definitely a few good games, but
right.
Yeah, I mean, Quentin Johnston had a good year, but like that was just 1 or 2 good games that were like 20 pointers, and it just hit at the right time. But you didn't really have like, I would actually throw like a Puka year 1 in that mix. Maybe Amon-Ra in his first season, those kind of guys where they just gave you an incredible year and really carried your team. Like it's unusual. It's less likely that it's going to happen.
Right.
I took Derrick Henry with my first pick because they left him there. And again, one of the things I'm trying to do here is just like, if there are players who are putting up 30s occasionally and have a chance to like put up a 30 during the playoffs, I don't, I'll take that running back, even though, again, I think this format definitely does favor, focusing a little harder on wide receivers early. So let's see if we can get back to that with this next pick. Brian Thomas Jr. goes, and no, they're not going to let me do it. I don't like McConkey there. Bowers, maybe a little too soon for him here. I think I got to go double RB, and man, I don't love it. I wanted Thomas Jr. I'm going double RB. All right, so we're starting different. We'll see how it goes. Right. You got to take what it gives you. Jalen McMillan, Quentin Johnson. I say, who? I'll give you some candidates for this year. So as we're talking, I think let's stay on that topic, Raz.
All right.
Candidates for this year, late round wide receivers that can break out and kind of like, let's call it, finish with a WR2 or 3, like a WR2 finish that are taken like a top 20, let's call it, wide receiver. I'll go one. And are you? I didn't prep you with this, Raz. So I don't.
No, you did not.
I don't want to put you under pressure, and it's okay if you hadn't thought of it. But I'll give a couple names. So one of the first ones that comes to mind for me, and you can get this guy in like round 11, 12, 13, Kyle Williams from the Patriots. I think Williams is the perfect sort of possibility. Let me tell you why. First of all, and I like some of the guesses in the chat, guys, and keep them coming, like Hollywood, maybe Jahan Dotson. I don't know. I think Jahan Dotson and Hollywood Brown are more guys that can give you a few really relevant games, but I'm not sure that either guy has a great shot at I don't think either guy has like a great shot at driving your team for multiple weeks. But here's why I think Kyle Williams can do it. And I'll give you some other names. With Williams, he's going to a team in the Patriots that I think is an up-and-coming offense. They are, arrows pointing up. Drake May, quote, the game is slowing down for Drake May. All of the reports out of New England are just, it could not be better for Drake May and the whole thing, and that he's got a nice connection with Kyle Williams already. The nice thing about that team, Raz, is they don't really have a dominant WR1. They brought in Stephon Diggs. He's 31, 32. We saw last year that he wasn't as dominant as you would hope. He really wasn't special, and then he gets hurt. So what if it's Kyle Williams? What if Kyle Williams emerges as his go-to guy? Third round wide receiver with some cachet. Normally a third round wide receiver isn't somebody that I'm like super excited about, but in this case, he dropped, blah, blah, blah. There's buzz around him. Enough buzz that I'll ignore that he was taken in round 3. Yeah. See, good guesses here. I think Cedric Tillman could be one of those guys too. That's a really good guess right there. Or that's a really good possibility. Raz, what do you think about Kyle Williams?
I do like Kyle Williams. I've actually been grabbing him. I think I'm like 16 deep into the millie on DK. And I do think I have a decent share of him, around 30% so far, which feels pretty decent. I actually like his teammate as well. And Pop Douglas has made some pretty splashy plays. ADP is behind Kyle Williams right now. So I think he's one that's kind of getting overlooked because of Kyle Williams talk. So, there's a bunch of receivers right in that range, right? Like I scrolled down to ADP, like there's those guys. Tillman's right there. Xavier Leggett, Wan'Dale Robinson, 2 rookie wide receivers for the Raiders too, and Beck and Thornton. So there's a bunch of guys in that range that I think could kind of definitely beat their ADP for sure.
You know what? Pop Douglas, such an interesting situation with him because I normally discount, and I think correctly, but I normally discount wide receivers taken as late as he was in the actual NFL draft, regardless of the fact that like he did seem like they were kind of trying to use him as their WR1 for a minute last year. Like it's really weird, but he's a 7th round pick. So talk about out of nowhere. If he continues to sort of like be a focal point, he will go down on the list of like late round wide receiver draft picks that massively the the small list of super late round wide receivers that kind of like emerge as something really useful. It's not a big list. It's
Right.
uncommon. It's unlikely. I don't mind that though, but yeah, so that's a possibility. I've got another one for you, Raz, and everybody who watches these streams already knows one of my guys, and this is not as late round of a pick. Yeah, get out of here. Keyshawn Booty, bro. Really? Zanny's there, man. He's in town. So holy shit. If that's the case, that is pretty intense. That's very intense. Let's see here. Who we got it running back here? I'm going. Oh, you know what? I think we got to get some wide receivers on the team here. Let's go Ted McMillan. Let's go young. I'm going for players that are going to be coming on strong. Keyshawn Booty, huh? I guess let's put some Keyshawn Booty on the team. Well, put him in the list for late round picks. I'm fine with it. Got to trust Ray. He's plugged in to the New England scene. So here's another name, Raz, that I've been taking late. It's not that late. We're talking like round 7. So maybe, I don't know if that would count here in this. But I've got Ricky Pearsall pegged as one of the guys who you're getting as like a WR4 right now that can absolutely be like a top 12 wide receiver this year. I just took his teammate, George Kittle, in this draft. I love him as well. George Kittle has a long history of smashing whenever the 49ers are kind of like missing any players at all. And right now, you know, Rashee Rice, I still believe will get a 6 to 8 game suspension. People aren't on board with that. Okay, cool. But that's what I think is going to happen. So I think he's going to be out. We got Juwan Jennings with a perennial calf strain that doesn't seem to go away. I think those two teams are going to lead to a smash year for Pearsall and George Kittle. I'm on it. I'm about it. What do you think, Raz? Give me a...
Yeah, I'm not as high on Kittle as you are, just because he's older now and perpetually seems to end up on the injury report, even though he plays. But I mean, I'm definitely big on Pearsall. They need him to kind of step up because Ayuk's not trustworthy either. You know, he and Juwan Jennings. So I definitely get behind it, and I think a healthy CMC will only help somebody like Pearsall. So I definitely get behind it.
Yeah, I could see that. So, Christian McCaffrey is really setting up. Things couldn't be setting up any better for CMC week 1 either. Oh, with the backups both banged up right now, it could be a week 1 CMC bonanza. And he's so cheap. Yeah. And Hacker, dude, let me just clarify this, because if you are playing best ball and you're taking Rashee Rice right now, I don't care where he goes. You're a donkey. You're a fucking donkey, and you don't deserve to play best ball. Or no, you do. I just want you in the league with me. And I'm going to tell you why. Why is that a donkey move? Because everything about best ball strategy, everything about how you win. Hold on, I'm about to pick. But everything about how you win on best ball, what do we have? We have 3 running backs. Oh, no, we got 2 running backs, a single wide receiver so far. Oh, and I get to take Pearsall with my next pick. That's what's up. Love it. Talked him up. Now I'm basically locked into Brock Purdy as our quarterback. It just happened naturally. Got Kittle, got Pearsall. We're going Purdy. It's happening. All right. So back to what I was just saying, because I lose my train of thought. But what the heck was I just talking about? That's such a good point to make. I forgot
about Rashee Rice. People.
Oh yeah. See, you're listening. Rashee Rice. Here's why you have to be a donkey. Ray, I don't care where. I don't even care where he goes. When the suspension is announced, you will be able to get him for cheaper, no matter where you're getting him now. So think about it. I'm going to draft against people who took Rashee Rice in round 3. In 3 weeks from now, or in 2 weeks from now, when I'm taking Rashee Rice in round 8 or 9. Who has the advantage? You've effectively given a massive edge to your opponent if you're drafting Rashee Rice before the suspension is announced, because he's going to go later. So you're already starting. You've lost before you've started, basically. Or you've put yourself in a massive disadvantageous position. You can't win like that. How are you going to win? Joe Mixon, RJ. I like RJ Harvey as a late pick as well. Yes. So one of the other things that I've thought about in trying to win this contest, Raz, is thinking about like players that are going to come on strong early in the season versus late when you need them. When do I need the players to really step up? I need them to step up, in the late weeks of the week 10, week 11, those times when your opponents are starting to have their teams banged up. You need your guys getting better. So I have a theory about RJ Harvey. You want to hear it? RJ Harvey. My theory with RJ Harvey is he's going to split with J.K. Dobbins early in the season, right? Rookie, super explosive guy, but going to be in a split. It's not going to look good for people who drafted Harvey as a starter the first 5 or 6 weeks of the year. You're going to be like falling behind. I don't even know if I want to start this guy. He's only getting 12, 13 carries. Yeah, he'll pop here and there, but giving up a lot of carries to Dobbins, right? You're going to be mad. Why did I do this? Shouldn't have taken him. The same way people felt who took Chase Brown right around here in round 6, 7. What round are we in right now? We're like around 7, 8. I think we're a little before that here, but like, yeah, round 6. Last year you were taking Chase Brown around 7 or 8, like right around here. And for the first half of the season, you're like, oh man, that was a big error. Wah, 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 wah. Right? And then all of a sudden, Cincinnati's like, this guy, Zach Moss, is trash or injured. Chase Brown gets the full workload and puts up RB3 numbers for the second half of the season. And you got him in round 7 or 8. And that's how you won. That's how you won. Yes, Eddie Perez gets it. So this is not a play on like RJ Harvey being good early at all. I don't think he's going to be. I think he's going to be in a split. I think it's going to be gross. I think it's fine. He'll still score points and probably fill in that flex or even RB2 spot every once in a while. Yeah, there it is. And I agree here as well, Ray. I think Chase Brown is like the most underpriced guy in the first 3 rounds right now. I mean, I don't know how much when we started doing these drafts, he was going around 3 and I said, these people are nuts. Were they involved in fantasy football last year? Did they not see what happened? But people are stupid. So we can beat them. And I think RJ Harvey's that. Like RJ Harvey is that piece that I think can come on late in the season. So that's kind of what I'm thinking with him. I'm just looking through the names here. One other name that I just want to mention at running back that I think is going, has right now is buzzing all over the place is, of course, Tyrone Tracy. Tyrone Tracy looks like he's going to get his full lead role back for the Giants. Rookie Scatterboo banged up. And the team's not even saying anything about Scatterboo. They're saying we love Tyrone. So that's another one we'll keep an eye on in a little bit. Rashid Shaheed. I don't think this is his year.
Probably isn't.
I don't like the situation. Purdy, 103, ADP. No, I can wait. All right, we need a wide receiver. Man. All right. I'm just going to take Godwin, another coming on late in the season guy. I hope I didn't push too much of my production in this build to like the second half of the season. Godwin is probably not going to be ready for week 1, probably like coming on, I think weeks 3, 4. After that first month of the season, I think he'll start to come on strong. He could play week 1, but I don't think he's going to be good week 1. Yeah, Zenny's got another one. Bateman or Mims? I think if it was so between these two, this is a good one. I want to address this. Between Bateman and Mims, I think Bateman is pretty like lock button to be a productive best ball piece, which will get you occasional pops. I think Mims has higher upside. Mims could wind up being like a guy. Like, I don't think Bateman, whatever he does this year, is going to be like drafted higher than he is. He's always going to be low volume, touchdown dependent. Mims, I think, might emerge into like an actual every week WR2 or 3 level player. So I think Bateman or Mims, I'm going Mims ahead of Bateman if that was a question about those two. Yeah, I think Bateman is more just he's just not going to see volume. Mims has a chance to maybe see volume. Sort by ADP here. All right, another one of my I'm just giving away here some of my favorite later picks, Raz. And another one I just put in there is Keon Coleman. Let me just see what's going on with the quarterbacks. Now I'm starting to get nervous. I don't want to lose out on Purdy because I want to build that. I want to build that stack. But
that's it.
Keon Coleman actually is another player on that list in this theme, Raz, of wide receivers that you could take that might have a chance to emerge as something special. Think about it. The same formula that we talked about for the Patriots, right? No clear WR1 on the team. Not a whole lot of competition. So we need the talent to shine through. We need the talent to shine through. Keon Coleman, I believe he was the first pick in round 2 of his draft year. I think he was like the first pick in round 2. So decent draft capital. But we have that sophomore WR breakout. Was breaking out a little bit last year before he got hurt, came out of the game, but he was breaking out a little bit. But the most important thing is opportunity. He's starting. Khalil Shakir banged up right now, so he's not even practicing with the team. Probably be banged up week 1. And who the hell else do the Bills have? We know they have a really good quarterback. Keon Coleman.
Yeah, I like
could
that
be
one quite a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, Ray had the epiphany with me. We did it together. We had a combo epiphany. We epiffed. But yeah, I don't know. He's a guy that Keon Coleman's been a guy that I'm starting to grab now ahead of like some of the other names that go a little bit ahead of him. They're a little bit ahead of him. So, catch me outside, whatever you want to do, but that's just what I'm feeling right now. That's what I'm feeling right now. That Keon Coleman could be one of those guys. And again, Kyle Williams could be one of those guys. We got to catch those guys in this draft. Yeah. Editor's note for the editor. Like when we release the edited version of this, it'll be like Keon Coleman just dropping passes. No, Keon Coleman last year was looking good. He was looking good up until he got hurt. I've got a running back target coming up, but first we got to get our quarterback, Brock Purdy. Technically, Raz, I like Fields more than I like Purdy, but you got to get your man. Got to get the stack.
Yeah, for the most part, my drafting is dictated by my stack. So there are obviously quarterbacks I'd like more than the ones I end up drafting, but they have to kind of fit my plan at that particular time.
Got to fit the build. All right, so let's take a quick gander here. I got a quarterback, 3 running backs, 4 wide receivers, and a tight end. So we've got a well-rounded build so far. We'll need, a little bit of everything here. We're at the point though. There's also, oh man, I think I'm going to double down at QB here because I have a plan.
Oh,
I'm going to grab Drake May. So the plan is now.
Definitely see your plan now.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of builds itself, right? The plan is going to be get Kyle Williams, get Hunter Henry, maybe Booty for Ray, little Keyshawn Booty for Ray, and then we're going to call it a. Booty is really that's who the buzz is about. I don't even know how to spell his name.
Boutte.
ADP 228. So that's a free player. Oh man, look at that. Look at that. Fucking Ray. You ready for this? He did have apparently a 20-pointer and a 27-pointer last year. You know what? Put a star on his name. I'm interested. That could be, honestly, if that's right, and you take him with your last pick or second, that could be one of those league winning moves. And he kind of busts out with a 27-28 late season. That's a league winning move, possibly. Definitely worth it to go after the $2 million. Braz, what would you do if you won the $2 million for this contest?
Do you want my honest answer?
Yeah. I think the first thing is call Kevin and quit. Like, is that what it is? Like, fuck
it's
this job. Is this a job? It's not a job. You're hanging out talking fantasy.
It feels like a job, but that's because I do a piece of content basically every single day, year round. Mm-hmm. So I would definitely cut back on the amount of, especially MLB content. Take a little bit of a break. But I haven't been on a vacation in a while. I've never been out of the United States. So
you've never been out of the United States?
No. So that would be my first piece of business is finding someplace to go.
I've been there. It ain't all that special. It's nothing like America. But yeah, why not? You might find a special place and never come back.
That is true too.
I could see you in Thailand, just like that's where I live now, or the Philippines.
Boy, it seems like an aggressive change from living in Wisconsin, but
yeah, but that's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. Telling you, I could see it. I don't know why, but I could see like being like, "Where's Raz?" And they're like, "He lives in Thailand now." You're like, "Oh, really?" Oh, Jaden Blue, such a good pick there. All right, let's see here. Luther Burden, it's been lighting up camp. Speaking of these prospects late that might emerge, Luther Burden has been lighting up. He's been lighting it up in Chicago. So Ray's saying Kyle Williams isn't ready. If that's the case, Ray, if that's what you're hearing, then yeah. I love it. I feel like it's inside info. Did this happen? I did not hear that Jaden Blue got carted off. Let me know, guys. Can we confirm this? I check all of the injury reports. How would I not have seen that?
I saw a Q tag on him when I was scrolling positions earlier, but let me see if I can find it.
Yeah, I trust Ray's information. I would assume that's correct, but man, I didn't know that. Am I on the
MRI ended up being a bone bruise in his heel.
All right, not a big deal. Yeah. He's fine, not a big deal. Okay, that doesn't sound that bad. Bone bruise. Any kind of injury, though, I feel like to rookies is a kick in the balls.
Yeah.
You don't want to. It's nothing you want. You don't want to see it. Let's see where we're at here. We've got 2 quarterbacks, 3 running backs. I got to get more running back talent on this crew. All right, we got Trey Benson coming up. He's one of my Trey Benson is one of my guys this year. He's somebody that I'm trying to get in most of my drafts. So we're gonna grab him here. It's a little soon for him. Maybe it's way too soon. Actually, it's a little way too soon. You know what? Let's get our Kyle Williams play. Even though everybody's shitting on Kyle Williams right now, I think I'm going to do it. Let's pull it off. Let's go for Kyle. I get it. The beat writers. And then we'll get Booty too. Ray, don't worry about it. We'll get Booty in here. Can I get a Bishop drop on one of the donkey picks? I want to do. Can we do a turd alert? It's too late for the donkey pit. Now we've gotten past the point where I can make fun of someone for everybody. There's no such thing as donkey picks in round, 13. Unfortunately, I wish you would have mentioned it earlier because whoever took Rice, look at what site they work for or play for. Donkey, donkey. Not going to say it. Putting out donkeys. Okay. I'm going to take Rice in round 5. At least it wasn't in round 3. Actually, the donkey picked Tyreek Hill in round 3. One of the worst picks. What are you guys doing?
I got a pick for you later.
Okay.
Kind of fits what you're talking about. You have to kind of look for some early season hope because you're, like your Chris Godwin pick, it's going to help you more down the road than right away.
Yeah.
This is a rookie that has been taking some snaps with the first team. And he is going to see the snaps in place of your donkey pick in Kansas City. Jalen Royals ended up going in the 4th round in the draft, but he was projected to go late 2nd round. He fell for some reason. Getting the number 3 wide receiver snaps in practice behind an injured Hollywood Brown and then Xavier Worthy. I think somebody that can help out the first 4, 5, 6 weeks of the year before Rice comes back, and then maybe even occasionally a random pop-off, over the next 12 weeks too.
Yeah, I'll give it. If he's on the field, one thing about I've heard his name floated around a little bit. I haven't drafted him, but I definitely heard his name. That might be like a second to last 2 rounds kind of play. I've heard his name floated around. One thing about the Chiefs is they spread the football around. So if you're on the field at all, you're not going to be Rashee Rice. He's not going to get 11, 12 targets per game. But if you're on the field at all, you can catch a touchdown. They're so good. You could pop off on occasion, no matter what. As long as you're on the field, you've got a shot with that team. Oh, there goes Benson gone. I thought I tried to hold out. I tried to hold out. And by the way, another guy who's really good, Drew Sampson. Am I on the clock? No. Sampson now with Quinshon Judkins not even signed yet, and just looking like. The career is looking sketchy for Judkins right now. It's like his career prospects are not looking too great. Would I take a tight end? Oh, I got George. I need some more, but maybe not yet. Let's just give it a Correndo. Yeah. All right. I'm just doing a quick. There goes Demario Douglas. What? Okay. Tight end. Hunter Henry. No, we got some time. Who do you want? Wandy Robinson or Cedric Tillman?
I've been taking a ton of Wandale.
I take a lot of Wandy too. All right. Wandale, I think, has less upside. I think Cedric Tillman has win you the week upside, where Wandy is more hey, I need a wide receiver to fill in the gap this week. I gotta, I had some disappointments, and he steps up and gets you a 12.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a decision that you make based on the construction of your team up until that point. Do you feel like you need a boom bust option, or do you need somebody that is going to, I don't know, catch you 6 balls for 45 yards every week?
Yeah, normally what I've done, what I've done with him has been a lot of that. when I kind of start off slow at wide receiver because I went crazy heavy, like a lot of the when I have those kind of drafts, I tend to take Wan'Dale, just like, all right, I don't have a lot of depth at wide receiver. Let me get this guy in there just to get me the points.
Right.
Ray is pushing Tyquan Thornton, who used to be a Patriot, and I believe is now a Kansas City Chief.
He is on the Chiefs now.
Yeah, that's another name, I guess, that could emerge. It looks like we're going to be able to get Tillman if we want as well here. We are getting to the point where I'm going to take Tillman because I think just can't go wrong with one more really good wide receiver on this crew. But I've now filled out my wide receivers to the point where outside of like Keyshawn Boutte, who we're going to take very, very late, I have enough of them. We need to switch. I think the tight ends are about to get hammered if I know how these drafts go, and I might have waited too long. So let's see what happens there. But yeah, Trey Bell, Dylan Sampson might be the starter for Cleveland all year, and he's looked good in camp. Judkins, done. It's a disaster. Yeah, Ertz is a good pick too. So you see a lot of people drafting with this approach. Look at some of these drafts, Raz. As I'm just looking through the drafts, and you're seeing a lot of this hero RB approach, like what this guy did, just taking one guy and then, hey, I'm gonna hope for one of these players to emerge late. This could work. I really think that's not a bad way to draft, but I'm also seeing what I think is too many people doing it. Here, look at this guy, S. Darda, right? He waits until, round 8 to take his first running back, and then takes a bunch of ones that really have very little chance of emerging. It's just how some people are doing their drafts. They're definitely being taught this approach by quote unquote best ball bro types. And that approach can win, but I think too many people are doing it.
Yeah, it's not my preferred strategy. I mean, I'm still kind of old school, where I kind of stick to making sure I try to get a stud or two running back, but I just don't feel comfortable, waiting 8 rounds to draft a running back.
Yeah, it makes you uncomfortable. I know this is the wrong way for the quote eliminator to draft, like those kind of like contests, but this contest style, yeah, I mean, this contest style, I don't think, anything can work. I don't think like, I could pick out for some of the other contests we've done, I would pick out these guys who are doing this and just laugh at them and make fun of them in the chat. Like, you're stupid. You don't understand what contests we're playing for, and you've not figured out the strategy for it. Fine. I can't really do that here because I think that approach can definitely work, but it does not feel good. And a lot of times the problem is while you're waiting for this like secondary guy to emerge, you've already knocked out of even just getting to the playoffs. You don't make the playoffs because you knocked yourself out of it. And of course, like a person like this guy, like this Teej guy, I mean, you tack on that he's drafting, guys on bye and other kind of issues, and he doesn't have running backs. It's going to make it more challenging for someone like that to make it through. It's just like, even when you're right, you could be wrong because you didn't make the playoffs. All right, I'm just looking at who's left.
The timing of the emergence is important for those random running backs. So like, it feels like you have to nail it more precisely to me, even though you're dart throwing them. It has to come at the right time. Yeah.
And this is something I've been talking about on a lot of these streams, but we play DFS, Raz. We understand what it takes to win a big tournament. We've won them, right? And I'll tell you what to beat 800,000 people. Oh, he took Sam Darnold. Why are they stealing my names right underneath my one pick before me? So brutal. I don't need any more wide receivers. Do need tight ends. So let's go Gesicki here. Just get one more kind of quality name at the tight end group. People, we know what it takes to win tournaments. And it takes low ownership above all else. Speaking of which, guys, and Raz, this is information that I'm giving out first time. Right here. You ready for this? This is a big announcement. Backtest season is officially here. Starting Monday night, 3 times a week in the DFS Army Discord, I'm going to be doing backtest streams where we're going to go and relive the 2024 season using the Domination Station optimizer, DFS Army Domination Station. We're going to go back. We're going to re-optimize for those slates. We're going to run our 150s. We're going to use the benefit of hindsight. The Domination Station allows you to go to backtest mode. You can see what the projection was. You can see what the final scores were. You can run lineups. You can make lineups. You can do it all. Come on, right. Don't take him. Don't take him. Don't do it. Brewski, don't do it to me. This guy in here? Yeah, okay. We're going to take Jalen right there. Bam. All right, so you can run and we're going to run the entire season of last year in backtest mode. We're just going to be doing streams. And what it does is flexes our muscles. It gives us repetition of building 150 to take down tournaments, setting up the settings, checking different settings, and learning what it takes to use the Domination Station optimizer to build a lineup that can win a tournament, that will win a tournament. Most important thing that we do for prep for DFS NFL season is back testing ahead of the season. These are people who win. If you're not back testing, you're probably not winning. Starting next week, this is exclusively for DFS Army subscribers. No point. If you don't subscribe, you don't need to learn how to use the Domination Station optimizer. Subscribers only. Links are going to be dropped in the DFS Army Discord for when these go live, but it's going to be happening 3 times a week next week. Probably Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, something like that. 3 of the nights of the week. We're going to hammer out streams. We're going to get our DFS muscles flexed. We're going to relive the entire 2024 season over the next couple weeks. What do you say, Raz?
Sounds excellent to me, and I will definitely be there.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about. But yes, it's what everybody's been asking about. Backtest season, super fun, hanging out, happening. You know, we're going to crush DraftKings this year, not just best ball. We're going to take their money in DFS. It's going to be a great year. So that starts next week. Everybody's been asking me. That's what it is, guys. And if you're not signed up, you want to be part of it, it's scrolling underneath. Get in there. 50% off your first month of VIP, NFL 2025, or NFL 25 to do the full year NFL or all football. The all football package is even better than NFL only because you get college football with it. What? College football, a whole season of college football and NFL. The college football one after the discount is $300 for the 12-month package, and includes NFL and college and off-season CFL, UFL, whatever FL exists, not PFL. No soccer. Should we throw soccer in as part of it? Like the all football? Maybe that should include soccer. I just had an idea.
Yeah, you probably should. I think that'd be the only one in the industry that might do
I
it
think
that
we
way.
should include soccer and call it football. Like that's what's up. The people who do soccer, where's Ash when I need him? The people who do soccer will be like, yo, that's called football. Right? And so
That's correct.
you know what I mean? Like it'll appeal to them. All football.
Especially with the World Cup next year, too. I assume some DFS contests go up a little bit because of all that. So
Yeah.
I think that definitely would fit.
Oh, it definitely fit. I'm excited about this idea right now. Hadn't thought of it. All football plan. We are now going to add soccer into that plan. Should I take Daniel Jones with this next pick? I got Will Shipley starting. You know what? Let's do Shipley here. He's another, like, Shipley's a running back that I think if he elevates is going to win you your league this year. Backing up Saquon, who everybody is worried about because he had all those carries last year.
I mean, or he could just win you week 17 of a best ball championship because Saquon's rested, right? Like, he doesn't have to, like, see an injury to Saquon necessarily to impact somebody winning a shit ton of money.
But in fairness, the injury would help.
Well, right. It's just not needed just because he legitimately could be resting that week.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. Or he helps you in the league. Another name, like there's so many names here at running back. These are the guys. DJ Giddens is another one. Where's my guy? Oh, man. The one I really like, there's a couple I really like. Woody Marks. I guess he went already. I wasn't really paying close attention, but Woody Marks is another name that I'm following very closely in that spot. Let's see. We have our, how many tight ends do we have? 2. We've got 5 running backs, 2 quarterbacks. I could use another quarterback. I think I got to take that third QB here. I think it's going to be Dimes if I can get him. As much as Dimes ain't very good, I just don't see how Anthony Richardson plays a whole season.
Right.
When I get him here, I got to take him. Fuck. I'm starting to hate this guy who's picking right in front of me. You fucker. You fucker. All right, so we'll get our third tight end here. I'm trying to get a correlative one. I just don't have anything that correlates, so we're just going to take the next man up. Yeah, the American Cornhole League. I've heard of the American Cornhole League. Let me tell you something, Lex P. If they had DFS contests for cornhole, we'd be playing it. We'd be playing it. The last vestige. You know what I think of when I think of that? You ever see that video, like professional bowling, where that guy's like, you are, I am.
Oh, Pete Weber, yeah.
Yeah. I think the cornhole people kind of like are all like that. Yeah, motherfucker.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, the haters are listening. No, I don't buy that for a second. Stoic, if you're hanging out here watching this stream, you're hanging out with us. Watching this stream, watching streams. Yeah, there's probably a hater or two in here, but for the most part, you're not a hater if you're watching. So I appreciate everybody that's watching, and I would never throw out, I would just simply never throw out a name as a distraction. You know, I've been doing DFS a long time as well, Stoic, and there used to be this idea that you're giving people who tout DFS or talk up DFS might give out, you know, players that they don't actually like or hold things back. And like, no, I'm not going to tell them that's my secret play. Well, I'll tell you this. I've been doing DFS a long time, and I've been in championships. I've been in the King of the Beach. I've been in, MMA championships, whatever you want. I've competed for finals. I've competed in things where your opponents might pay attention to what you're saying. And never once, ever has it affected anything. So I don't believe that, my theory is if you're in a final against me, even in a final, they don't care. The ego of the person is not going to let them watch my content and be like, I'm going to do that because Kevin's doing it. So it doesn't affect me. It doesn't cost me anything. If I don't win a tournament and somebody from DFS Army wins it, which has happened, or I've come in second to even a DFS Army coming. I don't sit here and think, wow, if I had kept my mouth shut, that guy wouldn't have won. No, I don't believe that. I don't believe it affects my ROI at all in the slightest. And so I just don't have any reason to hold back my favorite plays and my real true plays. And listen, my plays, are they good? They bad? I don't know. Sometimes they work. Sometimes they don't. I mean, I think you already know the answer to this, Mile High. You being in Colorado, you know, you get the freshest blue moon possible. That's what you should be drinking. Slice of orange. What's your beverage of choice, Raz?
Well, right now it's cherry limeade sparkling ice, but
cherry limeade sparkling ice. Is that what you just said?
Yeah, some sparkling ice water. I have to get more water into my diet, and I can't just do tap water. It just doesn't work for me, so I have to go with some special kind. But
can I give you an alternative suggestion?
Sure.
That I've added to my lifestyle mix. So I drank a lot of soda in my day. I was a big Coca-Cola man. And I, what round are we in? 19? Ooh, is this the booty round? No, I'm going to take Giddens and we'll take booty in the next one. We'll take him last. Just making sure I got my mix right here. So this has helped me in my life, Raz. I quit Coca-Cola, any kind of drink with sugar in it. And I drink seltzer. This is my favorite version of it, the lemon lime.
Mm-hmm.
But I just drink seltzer. I drink seltzer all day. And I drink I'll drink 2 of these bottles every single day. And as a Coke head, a bit of a Coca-Cola head. Prior to this, I needed the bubbles. I couldn't replace like the soda feeling with water. I need the bubbles. And what happens is I just train my brain to like this without any artificial sweetener. I just train my brain to like it. This is the booty pick. This is the one that's going to win us this tournament.
Yeah, I mean, the bubbles in this sparkling ice help. I mean, there's 0 sugar too, so like
it's 0 sugar, but it's got artificial sweetener in there.
No,
not that that's that big of a thing. Yeah, as long as it's 0 sugar, it's 0 sugar.
I mean, it's all natural colors and flavors, 0 sugar. I mean, you can get a 12-pack of these on Amazon for, I don't know, $1.10 a bottle or something. So like it's not overly expensive. Yeah, I mean, it's really, I have to replace my soda intake and my energy drink intake because I mean, I have cases of Celsius sitting here too. So
yeah, I never tried it. I never tried like an energy drink. I think of my age, just it was not a thing. I never tried one. I know people like Celsius. I don't really understand what it is. It's an energy
supposed to be
drink.
the better version for you of energy drinks, but it's still an energy drink and it's not great for you.
Yeah, it's not my I ain't down with that. Right? So I never had that Monster or any of that stuff. I just like Coca-Cola. Like I'm old school. I liked Coca-Cola and I drank multiple cans a day for many years. I was like, I can't be drinking Coca-Cola all day. This is fucking crazy. Like I got to get rid of sugar from my lifestyle. Like you can't be doing that. So I was like, man, I got to train myself the same way I train myself, the way I stopped smoking. I have a way, right? I don't like to give things up. I smoked cigarettes for a lot of years. So am I going to quit? I took an e-cigarette. And I started by smoking the e-cigarette with nicotine in there. And then I still had the motion going and I was like, all right, let me reduce the amount of nicotine in this thing. And I just kept lowering the nicotine amount until I took it to 0 nicotine in the e-cigarette. I took it to 0. I still had I'm going to stay here because we're going to do a little breakdown of the strap, but I still had my thing where I could kind of like feel like I'm smoking something, but it was down to 0 nicotine. And then about 6 months after 0 nicotine, and I took my time with it. Then I was like, you know what? There's no nicotine in this shit anyway. And I just got sick one time, got like the flu, and I just threw away all my shit, and I was like done smoking forever. That's how I did it. It's like I replaced it with something similar, but less bad.
Right.
That's what seltzer is. I don't think seltzer is bad at all, but like I was like, I got to get rid of Coca-Cola. How do I do it? I need a bubbly drink. I need something with bubbles, but I don't like the taste of anything with the like diet artificial. I just don't like the taste of artificial sweeteners. It's just like a thing for me. So I was like, I'm not going to go to Diet Coke. I don't like it. So then I just was like, all right, fuck it. Try to drink seltzer, and I started drinking, and eventually I embraced the taste of it. Some people like are repulsed by kind of like how seltzer tastes. It doesn't really have much taste, but I liked it. And then I don't really like the flavored ones other than this lemon lime version, which just is like feels natural. All right, let's take a look at how this draft went down, Raz. For the million. For the millie. We started off with Derrick Henry and Ashton Janty. So it's weird because I literally talked up an approach of waiting, focusing early on wide receivers, and yet Derrick Henry was there, and I was like, fuck it. Now, again, in hindsight, yeah, Puka's great. Nico's great too. So it could go any different way here. Round 2, all of these wide receivers who I thought might make it to me were gone, and that kind of forced me to take Ashton Janty. While we're doing this, I just want to point out my least favorite pick in every round. So I'm going to add that in here. I know you live in the negative, Raz. Let's what's your least favorite pick in round 2? We're going to do that. That's how we're going to do it. Yeah. What's your least favorite pick? What's the pick that bothers you in round 2 that somebody took?
Probably Jonathan Taylor, and it's tough to say being a Wisconsin guy, and I'm a huge Jonathan Taylor fan. Just don't like that spot. I'd rather have Chase Brown and Bucky Irving than Jonathan Taylor right now. Just tough to trust in that offense with quarterback issues. Plus, his health isn't the most ideal for a second-round pick.
Agree 100% with that. I have another one that I'll point out, but let's do that. Let's make it fun. We're going to critique the worst pick in each of these rounds. We'll do that up to like round 9 or 10. There's no bad picks after like round 9 or 10. I'm not going to critique anything there. But for me, and I agree with you on Jonathan Taylor, I don't have much exposure to him. Now, Jonathan Taylor led Ray Zanny to like a championship last year, and he absolutely can pop at random times. So with that being set aside, I think the Colts are one of the worst teams in the NFL this year, and you don't really want to be taking running backs early, especially running backs that don't really catch a lot of passes that need to score touchdowns on a team that's not very good. So that's like an acceptable thing. To me, the worst pick by far is AJ Brown. Averaged 16 fantasy points per game last year, which is terrible. Look at every other wide receiver, 19. I mean, 19. Well, Wilson had no quarterbacks, but like a lot of these wide receivers that go a little later averaged more fantasy points per game or similar, and you can get them multiple rounds later. Like T. Higgins averaged 19 fantasy points per game last year. Why are you taking A.J. Brown and his 16-point average rounds ahead of him? I think Terry McLaurin, 17, more than A.J. Brown. So even Myers might have, he's almost there. Jacoby Myers, almost the same. And A.J. Brown has all kinds of knee issues that are still popping up. This is not a good pick. In round 2, McConkey, higher. JSN, definitely going to outscore this guy this year. So AJ Brown to me, worst pick in that round. All right, coming back around, and I don't have a lot of exposure to George Kittle this year, but I took George Kittle here. This is all true. So like that's what I'm saying. Yeah, and this is all true. It's like he crushes it late. He's like Mike Evans in that way. He's Mike Evans and Mike Evans and Jonathan Taylor like somehow just win you your championships Like they just wake up in rounds 15 through 17. But I think that's just luck variance. I can't imagine that this will continue. All right, so I take George Kittle in round 3 because I'm now starting to think let's build a Brock Purdy lineup. Also, I mean, I do like the wide receivers that were there, but it just was something I wanted to do. I wanted some George Kittle. George Kittle, by the way, outscored. He averaged 16.6 fantasy points per game last year. That he outscored Bowers, and he outscored Bowers and McBride last year. 16-2. We got 15-9, 16-2, and we got 16-9. 16-6. Also outscored AJ Brown last year, by the way. So I took George Kittle. Followed up with Ted McMillan. So we got our first wide receiver off the board, WR1 rookie. Could have taken Mike Evans there. Hindsight, probably should have taken Mike Evans. Evans, 17.9 last year. Ricky Pearsall. So we got our second piece from the stack. RJ Harvey, I talked about it. But let's go to these rounds. So round 3, worst pick. Raz. Of this
torn
round.
between 2 picks.
Okay.
I am just not a Marvin Harrison Jr. fan. I think in that spot I would prefer, like, I guess Mike Evans. I mean, even Jameson Williams. Like, there's wide receivers that went in round 4 that I would put ahead of Marvin Harrison Jr. But I also am not a huge fan of the Hampton pick. I thought he was going to be having a big year, but that loss of Slater to the year-ending injury on the O-line, I'm not sold on that scenario. I think Breece Hall in the same round probably outscores Hampton on the season. So I think I lean Harrison Jr. as my least favorite, but Hampton is a 1B in that.
All right. I hear you. I would agree. I don't love Marvin Harrison. I do like Omari and Hampton there. I don't necessarily agree with that take. I think Omari and Hampton is Ashton Janty a round later. Just as good, better team. Team wants to run the football. I get it. Losing an offensive lineman, not great, but the coach, the team, they're going to run the football, and I don't see where Najee Harris is going to threaten. So I do like the Omari and Hampton round 3 pick. I like it a lot. What I don't like is Tyreek Hill at the beginning of round 3, already banged up, already issues coming in, at risk of his quarterback going down, at risk of himself going down, at risk of attitude problems. A lot of issues with Tyreek. I don't see any reason why I need to take him here, or anybody needs to take him in round 3. Yeah, so it's Tyreek Hill for me, and especially at the beginning of the round. I mean, there's so many studs still available here. Give me Garrett Wilson, JSN, Adams, Evans. I like all those guys. I think Tyreek Hill here is a full round, maybe 2 rounds too soon. That would be my worst. I don't mind Amari and Hampton, but I also agree with you. I think Marvin Harrison is just like a hopium pick. You know, he's fine, but he didn't do that well last year on that team, and I don't see what's different. All right, so we get to round 4. Worst pick in round 4, Raz. We got some quarterbacks going off the board here. A bunch of wide receivers. What do you think?
I mean, I think as it sits, for me, it's Pickens. I just don't like the guy. And being the number 2, like, he had issues being the number 1 in Pittsburgh. Like, after week 5, when CD out targets him 2-1, like, is that not going to bother him? Like, he just, to me, doesn't feel like a strong play. Like, I definitely want McLaurin in that spot over him, who was taken, almost a half round later. So it's probably him. I don't know what to do with James Cook and that whole scenario. Like, if James Cook gets traded to Dallas, like some of the rumors, like, then I really don't like the pick there for James Cook. I don't like
so you hit on my guy. I think Cook is a questionable. Cook is the guy who's the most questionable here in this round for me. The issue was, while he had an amazing average points per game last year, he's doing it on very low volume, and that concerns me. If you look at his carry numbers, they're just not that great. 14, 12, 11, averaging 13 carries a week. I don't like it. And I Ray Davis coming in the game, the Bills mixing in too many different names. So I think James Cook, I have a lot of James Cook this year. But I think it's a sketchy. That's the worst pick. That's the most questionable pick in the round. I don't mind George Pickens. I think he does better. I think he did struggle as a WR1 because he's not as good as people think at separating. He's more of a go up and get it, fight for the ball guy, and I think he'll get one-on-ones on Dallas. So I do think he can do well in that spot on Dallas. He's not a WR1, and he certainly went ahead of a few WR1s here. I don't know that he'll outplay his coverage, so to speak, but it's Cook that's sketchier for me.
Yeah, and I think the Cook one probably ends up the worst pick in there, just because it's also that person taking their third running back in round 4, and it happens to be James Cook, who is in a questionable situation. So especially because in that spot he can add Mike Evans, he can add Sutton, Xavier Worthy even to be his wide receiver too.
Are the Cowboys aggressively right now trying to trade for a running back? Is that what's going on? Because I had not heard these rumors.
Yeah, I think it's been the last day or day and a half where some of these have popped up.
Yeah, I hadn't heard the rumors. I tend to not believe too much of that in the preseason. Teams don't really change their players all that quickly in the preseason. So I tend to not to maybe buy into that too much. But if it happens, I don't think it's bad. Whatever running back goes to Dallas by a trade, I think it's probably good for that running back. So if it was like Breece Hall or James Cook, I think it's probably relatively good for those guys, and very, very good for whoever the hell is backing them up. But I don't see any of this really happening. So, if it happens, I'll be a little surprised. Let's jump to round 5, Raz. As we look through it, we'll go kind of best and worst. I think the obvious worst pick in round 5 here, I took Ricky Pearsall, who I love. But the obvious worst pick for me in round 5, and I might have jumped ADP on him, but the obvious worst pick for me in round 5 is Rashee Rice. It's such a donkey level pick that I don't even know what to say.
Right. There's 2 other picks that I wouldn't be making, and they're both running backs in that round. I'm just never using Kamara at this point, especially on that team now, the way it's constructed. Maybe he catches a ton of balls because of it, but it's just not as dangerous in my mind. And I just don't want to pay Chuba Hubbard price for last season in a spot where I think last season was more like his best career season, when his career's done. I think 2024 is number 1. So I'd rather have, even your RJ Harvey in round 6, I'd rather have him than Hubbard in that spot. So it's really the running back picks there. Aside from the obvious in Rice.
Yeah, I don't know. I found it concerning, for example, that Trevion Henderson is priced so cheap on FanDuel week 1, and DraftKings, the DFS sites are really pricing these guys down. So that's interesting. I like Hubbard. I don't have a problem with Hubbard here. I agree with you. 2024 might be his best season, but we're really paying a cheap price in late round 5. That is a very cheap price for a guy who got a lot of volume and probably should get a lot of that volume again this year. I don't know that Rico Dowdle is eating too deep into that. So I think that's fine for him. But I get it. Trevion Henderson might be a little sketchy here, but Trevion Henderson is much like Harvey. I think Trevion Henderson is like winning you your league late year. He might not come on strong right away, but I think Trevion Henderson eventually will be a guy that you're like, oh shit, he's awesome. So I don't worry about those picks too much. No, I'd say it's really Rashee Rice here for me as my worst. And I agree with your Kamara take. That's the where I would go with it. Of all of those running backs, Kamara to me is probably going to hot start it. But with that team that bad, these type of veterans, when you're on a complete trash bag team, find a way to get themselves injured and get out of the situation.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen with Kamara. He's just going to find an exit from that sinking ship, and all of a sudden it's going to be get even uglier in New Orleans. I just don't want losing players from losing teams.
And then I also think like what makes that Kamara pick even worse is look at the construction of that guy's team and the receivers he's passing on to take Kamara. Like he doesn't go wide receiver 2 until round 8 with Cooper Kupp, who's going to probably play like 7 games. So he's passing on DK Metcalf, who's going to get a ton of targets just because Aaron Rodgers needs a guy to lean on. And McLaurin, like that to me just screamed the spot where he's got to take a wide receiver, and he didn't.
Yeah, this guy also donkeyed up and took 2 quarterbacks in the first 7 picks, which is a big no-no.
Right.
If you're taking Burrow, you should not also be taking Mahomes.
Correct.
Like your next pick should be multiple. Like right here, as an example, you talk about a guy who lacks wide receivers. Jerry Jeudy was available. Diggs, Jennings, Downs. A lot of good wide receivers were passed up. And then you take a washed Cooper Kupp. I mean, come on, bro.
Right.
So yeah, that was very donkey of them. Where were we? Kamara. Yeah. So yeah, I totally agree. Let's do a couple more rounds here. But my draft continued. Took RJ Harvey there. I probably could have taken Henderson and gotten Pearsall here still, or Hubbard and gotten Pearsall. So looking at this, the question: do I like Harvey as much as these other guys? I don't know. I guess in a big GPP, whatever. Bad pick in round. We might be beyond like picking a bad pick here.
I mean, there's one to me that stands out only because I'm not taking Laporta. For me, it's like if I don't get a top couple tight end, the guys that go earlier, like I'm pretty much just passing for a while, and I just don't like where Laporta's going. I don't like how he looked last year, even in his return. So just not a pick that I'm finding myself. I mean, maybe we're just picking on the guy that picked in that spot because like there's a bunch of picks in a row now that just don't make sense to me for his team.
Yeah, you generally just hate this guy's team.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like,
yeah,
I mean, he needed to get a wide receiver there more than a tight end.
I would definitely agree. I mean, give me a bad pick. I also hate Olave as a pick here. Right. I'm going to give you so many reasons why. I'm going to just like pile the reasons on. Number 1, Olave, injury guy, always getting hurt. Concussion away to a like level of concussions to where one head bump and he's gone. Okay, fine. Now pile on, there's literally not an actual quarterback existing in New Orleans right now. They don't know who the starter is. They haven't figured it out yet. This is going to be the worst team in the league. Olave from Spencer Rattler, that doesn't excite me. Like, come on, bro. That's who you're taking. You're taking Olave ahead of Jerry Jeudy, who absolutely tore it up last season. Our top 10 wide receiver last year. You're taking Chris Olave, who even when he plays, was not very good, averaging 10. I mean, come on. This is fucking ridiculous. What are people doing here? Olave's a donkey pick, and this guy, donkey draft. Yeah, I think that's the worst one. I don't have another critique of this round. I think Zay Flowers dropped to where he's appropriately valued now in round 6. Here is where you want to take Zay Flowers. That's where he belongs. He was going in like round 4 earlier this year, round 4 or 5. Now he dropped appropriately late round 7. I'm fine. 6. I'm fine with it. Round 7. There's a few picks. This is where it gets a little sketchy. I think the best pick in this round, was Jerry Jeudy, 7-2. It's early, so all right, obvious, but that's the best pick for me.
Yeah.
Bad pick? I took Godwin. Obviously he's injured. That could be a donkey pick, but I think Godwin comes on strong second half of the year, and Godwin was like a top 10 wide receiver in the NFL when he was healthy. Fine. So I took my upside risk there. Fine. I love Downs. Juwan Jennings, if he's healthy, is going to absolutely outplay this coverage as well. Reminder that earlier in the offseason, again, Juwan Jennings was going well ahead of Ricky Pearsall. Now look at how things have changed. Oh, how the mighty hath fallen. Now 2 rounds difference. Now I might have jumped Pearsall a little early, but still 2-round difference. Now Juwan Jennings appropriately valued. Love Josh Downs, even on the crappy team. Khalil Shakir is another sketchy pick. I've seen Khalil Shakir go as high as like round 5 to the Josh Allen owner.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. He's just banged up right now. I don't think it's that great of a pick. But at that spot, I think it's fine. So my primary critique on this round is probably gonna just be I don't know. What's the worst pick? What do you think?
I mean, aside from the obvious and Mahomes, the same guy, because of Burrow.
No, for his team.
If we don't look at if we don't look at previous picks, like I'm just not sold on Diggs in New England. His attitude style with Mike Vrabel, it doesn't feel like a fit to me. Tough to say, because I'm a Viking fan and like Diggs has a place in Vikings history, obviously, but I have to pick something else from that round. I think it's the Diggs pick.
Yeah, I think I get where you're coming from with that that critique. Let me put it that way. Flip side is, if you're going to take the risk, that's about where it should be. Like I don't know that it's going to work out with Diggs, but I don't have a problem where he's going in the sense that like if it does work out, I think you'll be happy. You'll be happy you took him there. If that team really turns it around. But we saw last year Diggs seemed a little washed with Houston, and then he just got himself hurt and found an exit. Sometimes I feel like, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I feel like sometimes these guys look for an exit on teams too. Not that that's what happened with Diggs last year, but that's kind of what I think might happen with like a Kamara, where they're just like, my ankle hurts. You always get hurt if you're an NFL player.
The desire to play through something isn't going to be there for some guys.
I'll just briefly run through the rest of my draft here. So I got Coleman. I talked about it at the time that I love Coleman. Upside, massive. I like him where I got him here. Looking through I don't regret it. You see here, like the next wide receivers taken, this guy has a massive bye week. Cooper Kupp may or may not be watched. Pittman's just a bad pick, no matter where it is. So these are just bad players. And then comes back around to me, and I was actually looking at Tyrone Tracy. I like him, but we get the Purdy stack. We complete the stack with Pearsall, Purdy, and George Kittle, which I think is great for this format. I like Fields ahead of Purdy in the sense of just like straight ranking, but I needed the stack. Take Drake May after, because we talked about the booty and all those names. So I was able to get my 2 quarterbacks here that I was going to stack up. Was hoping to get Hunter Henry at tight end. It just didn't work out. But we got Kyle Williams. We got Cedric Tillman, upside wide receiver, and just filled it out with some late round running backs that could elevate to starters with an injury, and finished it all off with Booty, who I didn't even remember came on this strong at the end of last year. And we get the inside info from Ray Zanny that Booty is kind of a buzzy guy in Patriots training camp. That's all I need for my last pick. No one owns Booty. Keyshawn Booty will be sub 1% owned in this best ball tournament. That's the kind of players we need. Low owned guys that could pop. Probably won't pop. That's why they're low owned, but could. All right. That is going to do it for another Best Ball Draft Palooza Friday version. Big thanks to our sponsor, DraftKings, for partnering up with us all August long. Don't forget to the buy one, get one offer they have going on for these Millie Maker contests. Going strong. So big thanks to them. Raz, thanks to you for hopping on with me on this one. We will be back on Monday with more Draft-a-Palooza. Remember, DFS Army promo code NFL 2025 gets you 50% off. There's your buy one, get one. So you do one Millie Maker entry, you get a second one free on DraftKings right now. Make sure to do that. Why wouldn't you just do that? Like 2 entries. Cool beans. 2 shots at a share of $15 million. That's what we want. Razzle, if he wins it, has already told me that he's going to call his boss, tell him to fuck off. You don't have to do that. You can just be like, yeah, I'm going to Thailand for a little bit. I'll get in touch when I get back.
Yeah, I may not use the words "fuck off," but yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to say "fuck off." Like, take this job and shove it. Why?
I'll disappear for a little bit.
Yeah. No, shove it.
How dare you?
Dare you? Tell me to fuck off. Hell no. But yes, that's going to do it for this one, guys. And remember, back test season starts next week. I know we've been waiting for it. It is here. It is now. We want to get all our back testing in for the month of August. Got to get ready. Got to get ready for the DFS season coming up. Got to crush some DraftKings. Take the money back from DraftKings. And the way we're going to do it is by practicing and prepping and getting ready and learning how to use the Domination Station Optimizer, the tools, the cheat sheets, all that stuff in combination. Learn how I do it. I've been doing it for a while. And we learn from each other. We get better. We back test and we smash this year. Raz, I appreciate your hanging out.
Thanks for having me.
Everybody hanging out. I appreciate you guys drafting with me all summer long. We're going to crush best ball this year. We will have a follow-up at the end of the year. Good luck this week. Good luck in best ball. We will see you on Monday. And next week, we're going to be hanging out a ton. Best ball by day, back testing by night. It's going to be crazy. Get ready. Take care, everybody.